Hello everybody, this is Husky10. I'm going to do a little tutorial. I figured this out by playing around. Now hang on, as you can tell, we're going to make an Agario style game. There is going to be some issues with this game, I can already tell. The point is you're supposed to eat food to survive. I still don't know how much. Alright, so let's start by creating a new. So I'm going to keep the scene open. I'm going to open a new Gdevelop and start from scratch. Why? Wait a minute, what? What is this one? Okay, I'm going to create a new project. I'm going to create an empty game. I'm going to save as, and I'm going to go down to here. I'm going to say Agario. Hit open and save. This one did not take long for me to figure out. Now, for those of you who don't know what Agario is, it's practically this game. If it'll load. Yeah, pretty basic. You're going around eating stuff. You're eating dots. You're collecting points. And you can get eaten by other players. But in this one, we're going to be making a single player game. So we're going to do two things. We're going to say properties. We're going to get rid of the update resolution, hit apply. We're going to create a new scene. I'm going to call this scene the play field. Alright, so we need two sprites. We need our player. So we're going to create a player. Add animation. I'm going to edit with Pascal. You can name him whatever you want. You're going to add a behavior to the object. You're going to add the top-down behavior movement. Default controls, you can choose any of these. I don't want rotate. Hit apply. We're going to create another. We're going to call this food. I'm going to color it. I don't know if I want to make it that colorful. So there and there. Hit apply. You don't want to add anything to the food, so you want to add player. Add the player. Now, this is where we're going to add some events. We're going to add a group. We're going to call it camera. Because in the original game, you have a camera that follows the player. So we're going to add an action. We don't want to add a condition because this really needs no condition. If you add an at the beginning of scene, it's going to mess up your camera. So we're going to add an action. We're going to find camera. camera X, we're going to set it equal to equals, or set to, and we're going to have it follow the player by typing in lerp camera X, close that, comma, space, player dot X, comma, 0 space 0.05, and then close the parentheses, and there you go. You have something that follows the player. Alright, so we're also going to do the same thing to our Y camera. So type in camera Y, set it to set to. We're going to type in lerp camera Y this time. Close the parentheses, comma, space, player dot Y, comma, 0.05, and close the parentheses. Oh, come on. For some reason, it's not cooperating. There you go. Hit OK. And now you have a camera that follows the player, but it kind of looks bad. So we're going to change the scene. The color of Agario is white. Hit OK. I'm going to change one more thing to the player. I'm going to color it. I'm going to make it a circle this time. And I'm going to color it. We can choose anything for this circle. Save. We're going to edit collision masks. Plus, zoom in all the way, or as far as we can. Add a custom mask and practically drag it around. This marks the collisions, so that way the player may think this game is somewhat playable. Hit close, hit apply. There we go. We now have a player. Let's add food, but I'm gonna hold shift and I'm gonna close it like that. Close it in. Because Agario food for this virus is pretty small, so we're gonna take note of the width and height. We're going to add a new group. I'm going to call it food size. Add an action. Food. Click food. Height is 18. We want to set it to equals or set it to. And we're also going to change the width. Equals and then 18. What this does is it sets the food width and all that. So we want it to randomly spawn. So we're going to click on the food. No, wait. We're going to go to action, scene timer, value of a scene timer. We're going to say 5 seconds. Food, and we're going to type in food spawn. Hit OK. And we're going to create the object. We're gonna say random, and we're gonna choose 800. And in our random for Y, we're gonna say 600. Okay. So we now have, so set the scene timer. You want to reset it, and we're going to call it food spawn. Hit OK, and let's see what happens. There it goes. It's creating food, but slowly, so we want to speed it up by about 2 seconds. There we go. We have random food spawning in. Okay, for some reason it's making that weird animation. So, unless we drag it into here, I'm gonna experiment a tiny bit. There we go, we fixed it. So you want to add the food and the height and the width in this area here. So, alright, so now let's do something with the player. So I'm going to type in player, add a new event. What was that? Oh, so when the player is in collision with food, we want to delete the food. Hit OK. So let's test that out. There we go. We now have you gotta wait a while for it. So I'm gonna change the spawn in to 1. We also want to change the mass of the player. So we want to change the scale. We want to add 0.01. So it moves up just so the player grows a little bit. Alright, is the player even growing? Alright, the player's growing. So that's good. Alright, so there's some stuff I want to do with this. I want to tweak it, so I'm going to add a sound. I'm going to type in play sound. I'm going to choose a coin pickup. I'm going to set it to 40. Hit OK. And now when our player collects coin or something, now there's so much you can do with this. Like, for instance, I'm going to add Alright, so I'm gonna add a variable, global variable, score, set it to 0. Right here we're gonna add our variable. We're gonna set the score plus, and we're gonna say 1. Hit apply. Now we're gonna add text. We're gonna do a couple things with this. We're gonna say score. I can't spell. We're gonna choose a font. Whatever font you want. What? We're gonna add it here. We're gonna add a layer. Click this button here and add a layer. We're gonna call it UI. I didn't start it. Joey did. So we're gonna change the base layer to UI. Nope, wait, we don't want to do that with the food. We're gonna keep that on the base layer. We're gonna change the score though to the UI. Hit OK. And we want to modify the text. Equals. And then we're gonna find our global variable. Hit apply. I'm gonna add one thing. I'm gonna add quotation mark score. Hit OK. And press play. Here's our game so far. We have food that spawns in. We have to do some more things. This is just to make it look a little better. We're going to add a way for the player to die, because why not? So I'm gonna add a sprite. I'm gonna call it virus because there are viruses in this game. I'm gonna add a color. I'm gonna call. They don't trust me. Okay, so I'm gonna add that. Hit apply. I'm gonna put that somewhere within our. So there you go. Press play. And we have our viruses, but the problem is they don't do anything. I do too. So the next thing you want to do, Pat, I'm recording. Hello. Yeah, yeah. So we want to create a new scene. We're gonna call it game over. We're gonna say when the player is in collision with the viruses, hit OK. We're gonna change the scene to game over. Hit OK. So when we go around and hit a virus, game over. I'm going to go to our game over screen, make it look a little nice. Scene properties, I'm going to keep it white. Hit OK. I'm going to add some text. I'm going to say game over. Okay. I'm going to change the font. I'm going to up the font a little bit by like maybe 39. And there you go. You got a game over screen. I'm going to add more text though. And I'm going to say press X to exit. Change the font. Hit apply. Press play to replay. Hit apply. I'm going to put them down here. In our play area, we're going to add a new event. We're going to say at the beginning of the screen. At the beginning of the scene, I'm sorry. We're going to find our global variable right here. Value of a global variable score, and we're going to set it to 0. Hit OK. So when the scene restarts, it's set to 0. So one more thing. We need our game over screen to work. So add a new scene. We're going to add a new condition. We're going to say key pressed. We're going to say X. We're going to quit the game. So we're going to add a new event. We're going to add a new condition, say when key pressed. I think it was A. Hit OK. We are going to change the scene to playfield. So let's see what it is. Oh, I hit apply. And we have our game. So let's play it and test it. A. You can do a lot more with this. You can add bonus points, like make maybe bigger food, and make it add more points to your score. You can add viruses and more. This is just a simple Agario clone. There's no other player except you. That's about all I have for this tutorial. If there's anything I should add, please say so. I hope you've enjoyed the Secret Saturday, which is Secret Saturday number 7. Right now I'm just going to tweak it. So the food appears more frequent. There is another problem that I want to address. Say you've eaten a lot of food and your character and your player just grew super huge. You can just say when it reaches a certain score, go to a winning page or a page that says you won. But this is all I really have. If you have anything you think I should add to this, I will attempt. I'm not going to guarantee I will be able to, but I will attempt to play it. I think I can delete that. But that's about all I have. So, thank you. Thank you and good night. If you haven't already, subscribe. I do game devlogs, I do gaming videos, I do tutorials like this one. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe.